This episode is brought to you by regret and bad choices.
Are you ready?
Starting now?
Well, now you just messed it up, you knob. God, you know that the shit that we go through for this, huh?
I know. Fuckers better appreciate it. When we started, we were just like, yeah, we're just going to do this, man. You know, shoot our wad into the wind and see what happens. What's the title of this podcast again?
I don't know. I don't know. Something with a penis, I guess.
Right.
Our fucking faces are everywhere now.
Right.
But
you're welcome, ladies.
Right. Popular with the ladies. Right. Oh, I'm not even going to apologize because hopefully it sounds fucking hilarious.
Yeah, totally. This is fucking explicit now.
The explicit button. Let me use my finger.
La, 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 la.
It is time for another episode of Sober, Not Mature. And that episode starts now. All right, everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of Sober, Not Mature. And you know, I know that we always say that nobody gives a shit if we record on an off night, but
Right.
Tonight it might actually matter, and I'm going to tell you why. And I think you'll agree with me. I need to put the episode. We're recording on a Thursday. That's number one for anyone listening, and it's possible that you might be listening to this on Friday because I need to put this together tonight anyhow. Because at this time tomorrow we're going to be, sitting in the theater. I don't want to be. And I'm driving tomorrow. I don't have time to fuck around with it. So I'm like, I'll just put it all together tonight. Why not? And then. If I put it all together, there's no sense in letting it sit there until Saturday morning. Let it
marinate.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't know. I checked around. You can check around too with all your people, but I don't know. I checked with my people, and I ran it up the chain, as they say. There's nobody around to tell us no.
Really, you didn't get the memo from corporate?
Nope. Didn't get the memo. Seeing as I'm sitting at corporate right now, and I mean, nobody's here, so I don't know if they quit. Did we never hire anyone? Is it just us? And you're at the Cleveland office. Anyone running around there? That's.
Nope. Nobody gives a shit here either.
All right, so, and I know you don't, so I think I'm just going to release. I'm just going to release it tomorrow. So unless something fucking weird happens, but hey, technology fucks with me, then I won't. But so anyhow, yeah, we're
so you fuckers get an extra day of us,
right? And I'm just gonna. I'm gonna do what I've done in the past. Is I'll just do the same thing I normally do on a Saturday. I'll do Friday and Saturday. Yeah, there's going to be people that are used to, obviously looking maybe for the post on Saturday. So I'll just keep the same rhythm, but just do it again on Friday. And some people might actually get surprised because yes, if anyone that's within spitting distance of Cleveland happens to be listening to this on Friday morning or Friday afternoon, hop on the interwebs and go to Playhouse Square and look for not the Shuffle. Not the Shuffle.
No, not the Shuffle.
Just Shuffle. And it's the documentary that we talked about, that we talked with Ben about. God, I don't even know what episode that was. Handful of episodes a few months ago, whatever the deal was. But so I mean, we get the opportunity to actually sit in the theater with other people, and hopefully get to meet Ben if we're lucky. I was going to say if he's lucky, but I don't think he gives a shit. But
and yeah, I just looked, and it's www.clevelandfilm.org. That's the official website for the Cleveland International Film Festival, or CLIF.
Kiff or Cliff with a C. C.
Yes, yeah, with a C, and it's no L, so KIF.
Okay.
KIF 50. It is the 50th year.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, if anyone happens to be listening to this at some other time, I mean, I don't think that I've ever been to the Cleveland Playhouse. I mean, I can't say that for sure because every once in a while, when we were younger, I mean, Mom used to try to culture us every once in a while. Whether it was like trying to feed us liver or
Well,
taking us someplace. I don't know that I've ever been, but
right.
you
I mean,
have.
oh yeah, I've been down there to the theaters for several things. I'm trying
Right.
to think because I mean, it's gone through some stuff. They revitalized all that, and I want to say they started doing it in the 80s. So yeah, I mean, Playhouse Square, I mean, it was run down theaters and some of them were closed. And, I believe there was a burlesque period earlier on. And,
That's the one when I was in elementary school. We took a field trip there to the
yeah.
titty show. Okay, that was the
one. Right. But yes, they didn't, start like revival. I mean, I know definitely in the early 70s, it was pretty sketchy down there.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a cluster. I believe I want to say 6 theaters.
Really?
Maybe 7, something like that. Some bigger, some smaller, but
Okay.
yeah, they were run down there for a while. It wasn't the show place that it is today. Yeah, they brought it back, and it is the second largest theater district in the United States outside of New York.
Really?
Yeah.
That's it. Milwaukee's got a good theater base too. I mean, I can't think of the name of the one theater downtown. Cause I used to, I mean, it's been there for fucking years,
right?
And it is kind of a big deal, but I just don't remember the name of it right off the top of my head. But I don't know that they have the, like the New York and I'm sure Chicago and some of these other areas that have a big, and obviously Cleveland, has a theater district. I don't know if I don't know, but I'm really looking forward to it because I mean, quite honestly, so we were out of Cleveland by 77, I think.
Right. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. So, I mean, you guys probably didn't go down there,
right?
As a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we obviously had family in Cleveland and we've been, I mean, Christ, I've been back and forth wherever I've fucking lived over the last however many years since 1970, 50 plus years,
Right.
I've been back and forth to Cleveland, thousands of times it seems, and
Right.
probably that's not an unrealistic number. But I mean, the only thing we went downtown for. So Uncle John had his whatever law firm he worked with to begin with. One of the first ones he worked in was in the he had an office in the Terminal Tower. So we went down there, but that was before they didn't have the whole mall shit downstairs and all that stuff. It wasn't the Terminal Tower in Tower City of today, even though that's even, not like it was 5-10 years ago.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's the only, I don't remember. We didn't go to baseball games or football games. I mean, we just didn't do that,
Right.
Which is, I guess, kind of weird, but I don't know. I mean, it's just I don't know what. Well, my dad drank, so I mean, that was his. that was his.
That's what he was doing, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. Whatever the fuck we did, we didn't make it down there. I didn't have a bad childhood. I just, maybe wasn't cultured in that way. But I'm. My point is, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be nice. Oh, I gotta say, parking spot already. So
cool.
I went through the same place the same app that we did for the Foo Fighters. And so it's an open parking lot like that. It's on, it's literally a 6-minute walk. It's on 17th Street. So a little bit north, like up and right of where the square is.
Yeah.
But guess how much it was. I mean, there's parking all over the place for God knows what, but just an uncovered open spot. So what do you think?
I'm $25.
5.
Oh, nice.
That's why I swear to God, anyone out there, if you're ever going anywhere, and I've done it in Chicago, I did it in Milwaukee, I've done it in a couple other places. The app is called Park Wiz, like WHIZ.
Yeah.
And it's fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, the one time, and this was 20 years ago, I think when I first got the app, I went down to Chicago, and I'm like, I'm gonna get fucked when I get down there because there's no way that I just got parking right by whatever the I don't know, the whole mall area there was. I had to meet a customer or client down there. So I get this, and I got underground parking right off of the main Michigan, right off of Michigan.
Yeah, right.
And I paid it was like $15. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So all parking at that time was like $30-$40, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm gonna get there, and they'll just be like, yeah, how much money you really got, boy?
Right.
And I'm like, no, it was that. So I mean, it's fucking swear by it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's gonna be a good time. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we got stuff. I think we got stuff. You probably got a reading, and I won't even. I'm not even go through the list of things I have. It's gonna be a fucking surprise. But you know what? I may not. I don't even know if I'll have to dig into any like sayings and shit like that I pulled out of readings. But that may not be true. But I just feel like I got a lot of step-by-step stuff that I wrote down over the last couple of weeks. And then next week we have, I think, our friend Lane from the Sober Curator, because we got guests for the next week or two.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a curator person, so I don't know. The fuck do I know?
Yep. Lane is next week, and then Justin, the other Sober Curator, is May 8th. And then we've got Anthony Dyer, who's the former aviator and author of the book Moonchild. That's on June 5th. And I need to get a hold of Chris from Sandsbar, see if we can get him on somewhere in the middle, because that's why I left a portion of May open just in case we can grab him on there. But yeah, and still we're still we don't know the results yet. We're just sitting here.
Yep.
We're still just nominated. That's all that we are.
More will be revealed.
Exactly. Right. So, all right, my friend, do you have a reading? I'm guessing.
I do. Yes, I do. Yes. It's from Touchstones. This was a few days ago. I read it in the morning and went, "Oh, that looks pretty good," and stuck my little bookmark in there, and yeah. So, and I kind of looked it over before we started to make sure, because you never know, right? I read something in the morning and that's pretty good, and you look at it in the cold hard light of day, and yeah, that sucks. No, it was all right. So, yes, April 11th from Touchstones. Here we go. I have learned this: it is not what one does that is wrong, but what one becomes as a consequence of it. Oscar Wilde. I believe he wrote some stuff. Let's see. There are countless ways to take shortcuts in life or to grab for pleasures. We could cheat on our income taxes, excuse a food binge, or lie to a loved one about where we've been. We'll say it won't hurt anyone, or I wouldn't do it if it weren't for the other guy, or everyone does it. But if we're to like and respect ourselves, we need to live by the rules we believe in. Whether we get caught or not isn't the point. We cannot hold values and then repeatedly justify breaking them. What does it do to us if we constantly fudge on our values? It undermines our self-esteem and damages the faith we have in ourselves. We do not expect to be perfect, but we must be accountable. If we are honest with ourselves, we admit our wrongs and reestablish our self-respect. The Touchstones thought of the day, or whatever the hell it is. Today, I will take care to make choices that match my values.
All right. So I say this every time, and I don't think about it when I'm reading Touchstones, but there's a lot of shit packed into a very short reading every single time. And it kind of goes, it's sort of on one topic, but has all these little like side point ideas. Go fucking crazy trying to write this shit down, but I think we always get the point. So there's two things that I would like. I'd like to start with the end part, but I also want to go back to that Oscar Wilde part in the beginning. So the end of the beginning, I think, were kind of poignant things. If you don't mind, could you read the ending part again?
The ending was, today I will take care to make choices that match my values.
Okay, because I wrote down something else on values, but do you, I'm not even going to, I'll say it. I won't even say it, but do you think that, do you find it difficult to live by a set of values on a daily basis? Do you still to this day, because I know we both did, but do you think you still to this day have to fight with yourself at all to live by these set of values that we've learned and, I don't know, cultivated?
Yes and no.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. A lot of it, no. Because it's just become a part of the way of life and the way we live our lives and all that good stuff. But, we're talking, 16 years versus 40, whatever, let's shave it off. Let's go 35, right? So, right, 16 years versus 35 years. My initial thoughts and my initial instincts and all that crap is usually wrong. Right. And certainly not productive for anyone, including myself. That's why I don't allow that to run my life today, right? Life is unmanageable. I don't manage my own life. So yes, there's a lot of the stuff that is, but there's still something jumps in front of me, whatever that thing may be, and my first instinct is to fuck that, run it over. And then I have to go, no, that's not how I live my life today. And pump the brakes a little and look for a way to get around it or right. Whatever. Yeah. So, yes, to answer your question, yes and no.
You know what? And that's I think I don't think there's an issue whatsoever with me agreeing with that 100% because, to begin with, I'm like, we got these values and we're fine. Mm-hmm. And then you made a good point right off the bat. You're like, when you pause for a minute, I'm like, oh shit, wait a second. What am I not thinking of? I'm like, I'm not thinking of everything is what I'm not thinking of. And exactly just anything and everything that can light me up, and just because we have this whole, like you just said, almost 16 years versus whatever let's call it 35 years, like you said. That difference, same thing as Vinny used to say. You don't walk, 20 miles into the woods and turn around and take a couple of steps and get out of the woods. Now, I don't think we'll ever get out of the woods. I mean, there's always going to be woods around us. Yeah. But, we can see the light of day and we're not, in fear of, let's say, dying in the woods anymore. I don't think on most days. But yeah, anything that there's still everything that could set me off. Just because we got all this stuff behind us, it doesn't mean we're immune to that. It just means that maybe we pump the brakes a little bit. Maybe we don't say what's on our mind. Maybe we're really fucking irritated inside. My thoughts are all kinds of fucked up. Somebody I know says that quite a bit. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. So yeah, and it's goddamn, that's an unfortunate good point.
Goddamn honesty. Fuck.
I know. It's like you motherfucker. You made a good point, and I can't even give you it's not even like a point counterpoint. Like what if? No, because the what if would actually prove the point. If I said
exactly.
Does that suck? If I tried to debate the topic, that would prove the point. That's fucking irritating.
Yeah, isn't
it? That's really fucking irritating. So, what about the first part again? Oscar Wilde. And I love Oscar Wilde, but can you read the first portion again? Okay.
I have learned this: it is not what one does that is wrong, but what one becomes as a consequence of it.
Okay, so I've got thoughts on that, but what are your thoughts on that in general? What does that make you think of right away, or does it?
No, it does. Right. Well, clearly we can do wrong things. We can debate that, but it's and we can do good things, and if it doesn't make us a better person or whatever. So, I do agree with it. It's what becomes as a consequence of our actions. Our actions inherently aren't good or bad. Again, we can argue that point. Yes, they are, whatever, but it's what we become because of them. We've talked on here over time, until we're blue in the face, all the shit that we did, all the bad things that we did, very clearly we did wrong things, actions that were wrong for a very long time, but they have worth and they're not, we learned from them. We studied them. We did an inventory on them. We told somebody else about what that shit was and turned those things into making us a better person. and using them to help someone else so they have value and whatever. So, I mean, that's kind of, what I think he's talking about, the actions don't really matter, which is, again, goes against everything we've always said. All our actions matter. And,
Right.
that's the only thing that fucking matters. But yes, but truly what we become from those actions is what matters, whether we become good or bad or indifferent or whatever, hopefully better people and, good people. But yeah, what truly matters is how we change ourselves because of those actions. And yeah, I agree with that.
Right. And, it made me think of a couple of things. Actually, I was trying to think of both sides of it as you were talking.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I thought about was, I've used this as an example of things that I'm unable to do these days. I can't walk into a bathroom or go to walk out of a bathroom, throw a paper towel at the garbage can, have it miss, and leave it there.
Right.
I have to pick it up. I'm compelled to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing like when I was walking through Walmart and, I bumped into one of those, their display things and a book fell off and hit the floor and I had to pick it up, anything like that.
Right.
So these little things along the way, even to the point where we could say that, okay, so I'm no longer reading 4 books. I went down to 3, or I'm only doing 2, which is untrue.
Right.
I'm still doing my 4. I'm fucking paranoid as shit about that.
Right.
But that's on the good side of things. So so let's say that either one of us, we stopped doing our readings, we stopped kind of getting connected. We talked about, people stop going to meetings and all those different things. And you go to be of service. I go at whenever I'm around them. Like I'll go on Saturday when I'm there.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But, I don't think, because I hope, well, I didn't even hope. I know for a fact that you would tell me if you thought I was straying too far away from this thing, rather than maybe just not going to meetings, or if you're like, yeah, you should probably hit at least one a week or do this because you're a little fucking squirrely,
Right.
And I know I'm squirrely in general, but I think that if my
extra squirrely,
if my mental health and my sobriety were in danger or were getting affected, I think you would tell me. I know you would, not even think. I got to stop saying think. I know you'd tell me.
Right.
But so these things, the action of not doing my readings or dropping a book or figuring, fuck it, somebody else, that's what they pay to do, that, fucking cleans the bathroom to pick up this goddamn paper towel or whatever the case is. I start slacking at all these different, I don't make my bed anymore. I don't clean up after myself around here or when I'm at somebody's home.
Right.
I don't clean up myself when I travel. Like, fuck these Airbnb people, they can clean it up, So those little actions, although again, to your point, I 100%, it's difficult for me to say that they don't matter, but I understand the point of what Oscar Wilde's saying, that it's not necessarily, it's not the action itself. It's the culmination of these things. Sooner or later, 2 days, 3 days, 3 months, whatever, maybe a year,
Right.
Either if I don't drink, I'm going to be fucking miserable. That's for goddamn sure. I'm gonna turn into somebody I don't want to be. I'm gonna turn into a person that I used to be, and I'm gonna be no good to myself or other people.
Right.
So it comes back to, but it's this building block. Just like we built blocks to do all the good things, we could build blocks for the bad things.
Absolutely.
So, on the good side of things, this was what I was thinking about when you were talking, kind of little side note in my head, was all the little fucking things that we had to do at the Keating Center. Clean 17 times a day and do this and do that and blah, whatever the fucking thing everything that we were doing.
Yeah.
None of this shit matters, right? Well, of course it did. Because when we get out on our own, then we're like, okay, now we make our bed. Now we care about other people. Now we clean up after ourselves. Now we don't yell at people. Now we don't, we know how to conduct ourselves in a group, and whatever the case may be. So same deal,
Yeah.
We're not fucking wild animals like we were, just running all fucking willy-nilly, self-will run riot. So on both sides of it, that paragraph or that statement from him, I mean, makes a lot of sense. That's why I wanted you to go back and read that, because I'm like, I like that. I think this means something. So let's dig into that one for a minute. But yeah, I mean, I do. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Exactly. Right. Yeah. All those little things, have somehow made us better people.
Right.
Right. And yeah, actually there's a girl that led my home group. I don't know, young woman. she's probably 30. It's a girl to me. Because I'm old. Anyway, she led, and she was, she brought up the thing, that I say all the time, look, there's parts of this program I don't fucking understand. I don't understand how they work. I never will. It's fine. Again, comes back to, what's making my bed every day have to do with me staying sober? I don't know, but apparently something. But it doesn't matter that I understand it or that I feel it in my heart. It's, that I fucking take the action and do it. And,
Right.
What do you know? Still fucking sober. Glancing over right now because I'm in my room. Hey, my bed's made. Look at that.
Yeah, well, mine's got shit because I did some laundry. I got some other things on it. I've got things on it right now. Not strewn all over the place.
Uh-huh.
I have folded clothes. I have my Chromebook. I have my phone. That sort of thing because it's right next to where I'm sitting. But my bed's made. I make it every fucking morning. And same thing we talked about when. Even traveling, when you've traveled or I've traveled, it's a hotel or it's an Airbnb, and they even tell you strip the bed. Any beds you've used. I still make the I make it. I unmake it, take off all the sheets, and then I'll usually put the comforter on. Worst case scenario, I fold the comforter kind of over on itself on the bottom of it, and just make it look nice.
Yep.
Just so fucking stupid, but I look at it and I laugh, and I'm like, I have to do that,
Yeah, right. I mean, when I was down in Myrtle Beach with the family, right? It was an Airbnb. Same thing, strip the bed when your last day when you're done. I fucking made the fucker first and then stripped it down.
Right.
Yep, because I had to. I don't know. I mean, if I didn't, I probably wouldn't have walked outside because there's a liquor store right across the street. Imagine that in Myrtle Beach. And, probably wouldn't have walked over there. But hey, guess what? I didn't have to fucking find out.
Right. Yeah. In the same thing, what habit are you, what thing right now, what consequence does that thing have, down the road? It's that ripple effect. And we talked about it last week with Heather, what is it? Is it positive or is it negative ripples? One way or the other, we human beings in general have the ability and do leave ripples. It just depends on what type of fucking ripples do you want to leave today.
Right. That's fucking physics, man. You fucking you move. The air moves around you. Right. Yeah. There's an effect.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And I have no desire to leave bad ripples. And if I do, I mean, we've got a program, we've got a step, we've got a process to fix it if we leave that bad ripple. But I mean, it's the same thing, it's the immediate result to, like, for instance, the Airbnb stuff, and I've never gotten a negative review. I've never left one either. Cause I also, that's the other side of things is, I specifically decided when I started traveling, I'm like, even if something gets all fucked up, I'm gonna deal with the host directly.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna blast them on Airbnb because I don't think that's fair.
Right.
Now, even if they tell me to go fuck myself,
right.
If I give them suggestions, I'm still not going to put it up on Airbnb. I mean, because there's no point. If I didn't like a property, or if somebody was kind of a dick to me or something like that, I will put no written review part of it. I'll just put the stars in there because I'm like, it's selfish also because I want the positive review also.
Sure.
I don't want to fuck somebody and get fucked back because that'll hurt me. But the immediate result of me making my bed is that I've gotten a lot of really nice compliments from some of these hosts.
Right.
I mean, the one guy's like, we've been doing this for years. They've never had our place left so clean. And I'm like, I didn't do anything differently,
Right. Yeah. Living the way that we live. Exactly.
Yeah. It makes me feel good. I mean, to literally have no fucking effort involved in doing that and making that much of an impression on somebody. And I think that's a big deal, because these hosts are, just, it is what it is. I'm sure that, many people have sooner or later, somebody's going to fuck with you. I mean, everyone does in life, but to be able to just be like, okay, I got to remind me, actually, I'll write this down. I don't think I wrote it down. It was my doctor's appointment.
Squirrel.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, I've got, well, you know me, you've been around me a minute or two. But I think it's an interesting story. It's a life story, but it has to do with the doctor's appointment. So, but anyhow, so back to, we're back on the right route, I think. So, So I wrote down shortcuts, lie, cheat, and steal, because it didn't say that exactly. It talked about lying, but I'm just like,
Sure.
well, lie, cheat, and steal.
Well, yeah, it talked about, cheating on your taxes. And,
I guess it did.
Well,
Yeah,
right.
I guess it actually it did. Maybe a
and
different
lie
order.
to a loved one. Yeah, it was all in there. Right. Right. And actually, it brings me back to the last line in the main part of the reading was, if we're honest with ourselves, we admit our wrongs and reestablish our self-respect, which I think is huge, because I mean, big part of getting loaded is not having respect for yourself in a lot of different ways. And that's a whole nother thing we could go into at some other time. But I mean, the core of it is, poisoning ourselves to make ourselves feel good, but it comes down to not respecting ourselves. And, that's a big part of what this program has given us is self-respect. I respect the fuck out of myself today, which is good. I mean, I again, that whole lying to ourselves and building ourselves up in our heads and believing our lies and all that crap before, I respect the shit out of myself. No, of course he didn't. I'm ruining my life, poisoning myself. Yeah, you really respect yourself a lot. But yeah, today, because of what these actions have made me become, thank you, Mr. Wild. I respect myself today because I'm doing the next right thing. And that's a respectful thing. I treat people, the way I want to be treated for the most part. I do.
No, I know.
Yeah, right. I mean, and there's people I certainly do not fucking respect, but I'm not going to go out of my way to disrespect them. I'm just going to go out of my way to get the fuck away from them. Yeah, So yes, but the reestablishing my self-respect by owning up to when I fuck up is a huge thing. One of the wonderful gifts this program has given us.
Blowing ad budget on metrics that look great till the CFO sees them. That's bull spend. And marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
I remember telling my boss, it'll be good for the brand, when leads were slow. Yeah, it wasn't.
Cut the bull spend. LinkedIn lets you target by company, job title, and more. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Right. Yeah, and that's actually a really good point because like you just said, I mean it's easy to say. I mean, at the time, obviously looking back right now, we know we were full of fucking shit.
Yes.
But I mean, I thought I not only had self-respect, I thought I was respectable, and I was neither of those things. But now, I mean, I do. I mean, I care about myself. I care about, to a certain extent, I care about what other people think based on the actions that I want to, or the way I want to act as a human being.
Right.
I don't want to go out there. If somebody doesn't like me, fuck them. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that part of it we've talked about plenty of times, but I don't want to be that guy out there, that is acting a fool, and I'm supposed to be, a sober individual, and on top of that, a member of Alcoholics Anonymous, and a member of a community that's supposed to be, this community is helping me and has helped me. At least it should be. I should be becoming and continuing to be a better person.
Right.
So it would bother me if somebody's like, yeah, you aren't presenting yourself very well. You're not a respectable human being.
Right.
So in that sense, I care about what people think about me, but I also, it's my choice and my responsibility to make sure that I can't control how they act, but I can put the best version of myself forward. Right. I mean,
exactly.
I think that's our responsibility, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like you said, if we're doing that and they still don't like us, fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them. Fuck them.
Right. You can't recognize how fucking wonderful I am.
Right.
That's your problem.
Yeah.
Not that we're that fucking wonderful. I'm certainly not. But but I am a far better person than I was. And, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do for the most part. And yeah, God damn it.
Right. Well, that's
if you don't recognize that, that's fine. I don't care.
Right.
I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it because I'm selfish and self-centered. And I'm doing it for myself. So I have that self-respect.
Right. Yeah. And the thing of it is though is that people once again if they don't recognize that we're doing things that we were taught. Yeah, granted, there are going to be people. There's probably there's going to be haters out there, and I don't know. Like we've talked about this a number of times. I have no. I want to talk about this in a minute too, but I have no one in particular in my life right now that I have and I'll use my air quotes, have a beef with. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
You and I talked about a couple of weeks ago when you were here, a situation that I was in where I was around somebody that, I know that's kind of acted a fool in other ways. I don't really have a beef with that person, but I want to talk about that just briefly because I think that might be a decent open topic. But as far as like an open beef, somebody that I don't like or don't have or that have a problem with that I'm in a fight with, and that's fucking huge.
Yeah.
And when I think about, granted, when my dad died, it was before I got sober. Thankfully, he and I got our shit together and whatever, but there was still clearly some regrets there. By the time Larry died, I'm a year and a couple of months sober when he died.
Right.
No regrets on his end. And certainly when, even with all the fucking turmoil over the years that I had with Mom, prior to and even after, I got sober, all of that shit back and forth here and there. There was nothing left undone where I'm like, fuck, man, I wish I would have, taken care of that shit. But that goes back to, again, responsibility, how we're supposed to act, what we're supposed to do, because the whole properly fucking admit it when we're wrong.
Right.
it's a suggestion, but it's a pretty goddamn strong one.
Yes.
If you fuck with somebody today, you better fix it, because then that's the only goddamn reason that I don't have any regrets.
Right.
It's this program in general, but step 10, being able to walk back to somebody and be like, you know what? Fuck. I'm sorry. They're like, well, you didn't do anything wrong. God damn it.
Yeah, I did. In my head, I know I did, and so I got to make it right, even if you didn't notice it.
Right, which is good, because even think about that is the level of our fuck upness.
Yes,
okay, the level of our fucking up is so minute these days. For the most part, I know both of us keep having to add for the most part.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. For the most part, is so minute that sometimes people are like, "Well, I didn't think you acted a certain way." You're like, well, good. Okay,
yeah,
but still.
Right. I'm glad it didn't, fuck you up, but it fucked me up. Right. Because I'm not supposed to be that way anymore. So I'm gonna fix it, whether you think I need to or not.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. And I woke up this morning, and I mean literally from the fucking minute that I opened my eyes, I was pissed this morning, and I don't know why. Just fucking angry. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like in just one of these moods, and there's nothing. It's like everything. It's like the wind was bothering me, and every little piece of whatever. And I'm just, I just do my stuff in the morning. Kathy and I chit chat back and forth, not a lot. I don't have time, and she doesn't have time, which is a good thing. I wasn't in the mood to sit there and talk to anyone for a long period of time, so I didn't know what the fuck was wrong with me,
Right.
And again, I can go, well, okay, this and this and blah blah blah, but all the this and this and the blah blah blahs are always in my life, or have been,
right?
For a relatively relative period of time, and then it just, I don't know. By the time lunch came around, I'm like, oh wait, I'm not fucking irritated anymore. I'm like, what did I do? What happened? And I still have no idea. There was nothing in particular, unless I fucking dreamed some fucked up shit and didn't know it when I woke up. I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
But I know what to do if I'm in a fucking mood like that and I'm around people. I just I keep to myself. It's short answers. I try not to engage too much, because I don't want to snap at somebody, especially when if I know that I'm in a bad mood, that's easier to deal with. But if I don't know why I'm in a bad mood or why I'm in a mood,
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say bad mood. When I'm just got some shit going on and I don't know why, then I need to be really fucking careful, because I don't know if I don't know what even is wrong with me. I don't know what's going to set me
wrong
off.
with me.
What's wrong with me? But I really enjoyed the reading. I really like Oscar Wilde. I love when because he's in some of the other books too, right?
Sure.
Is he in God Grant Me? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love quotes. I see them all over the the social media and Facebook and Instagram and blah 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 from time to time. But yeah, I always enjoy them. I enjoy them a lot. So, what else? Anything that you think we missed on the reading or?
Yeah, no, I think
That was your AI scan of the reading.
Yeah. Okay, so this last one. We cannot hold values and then repeatedly justify breaking them. Right.
Right.
Which is, again, how we used to live, right? Yes, we had, even in the depths of our fucked upness, we kind of sort of had some values, but yeah, we just constantly, it's like, you hear all the time in leads and stuff, there's a line I'm not going to cross, and then you cross that fucking line. I mean, yeah, I was never going to shoot drugs. And I mean, I was around people that did it all the time for a long time, a solid 10 years or so, I mean, because I didn't shoot up for the first time till I was like 30, early 30s.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, my standard line was God gave me enough holes to put drugs into my body. I don't need to make more.
Right.
Which I thought was cute and clever. And it
is. It's really.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, again, those lines, right? I'm not crossing this line. I'm not crossing this line. Fucking A, man. We walk right over them,
right.
Over and over and over again, so yeah, if we didn't, again, value to our actions that we became better persons because of them. Yeah, yes, we have these lines now and we don't cross them for a very good reason. And it brings us back to that self-respect. And, we can't have values. We can't hold values if we continually justify breaking them.
Right.
Oh, well, it's okay. Yeah. I know I'm not supposed to lie, but fuck, it's not really hurting anybody. I'm not going to get caught. Yeah, no. I'm not supposed to lie, so I don't fucking lie much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean,
right. Again, it's in the reading and it's all over, all the literature everywhere. We're not fucking perfect. Right. We are not saints. What's the point?
Yeah, and and we started hearing that right away when we first obviously got came in and got sober.
Right.
The yets and the thing with it is I mean all the things that we've learned. Well, I mean you learned a lot of things. Like I said, we've already talked about this openly. So have you. You've done all the drugs 4 times at least. So
oh yeah,
I've done none of them. But well, I'm just. A number of times,
yes,
repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
But if I did ever relapse, and we've already figured all this stuff out because we talked about it. If I relapse, it's going to be a point where I don't give a fuck, and I'm not coming back because I can't face anyone anymore.
Uh-huh.
So it's not even an if. I would try everything I could.
Sure.
I mean, why the fuck wouldn't I?
Right.
I mean, at that point, because I know for a fact that I'm not coming back. I'm done. I've given up for whatever happened or whatever tripped in my head. I don't give a fuck anymore. So
right.
Why wouldn't I do all the things?
I don't know. Why wouldn't you?
There would be no question. There would be. Yes. It would be all these yets would be when can I? which is number one, and I believe that. I believe all of that. I joke about it. We joke about it. Mm-hmm. But I truly believe all of that. Deep down in my being that if I relapse, it's not just going to be this. Oh, I slipped because I whatever. Uh-huh. No, there ain't no fucking slipping. There's a rocket sled to fucking wherever, and I'm on it. Uh-huh. And I've given up. I've given up if that happens, and that's why I keep doing these things every day because I don't want to be that person. I just don't.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Plus, I like my life today.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't need to get fucked up. Imagine that.
Yeah, I like my life and I like the opportunities I have and I love the people in my life and family and grandkids and all these different things and I got literally I have too much to look forward to, which is that's crazy.
Too much to lose.
yeah, too much to lose and too much to lose and too much to look forward to, but yep, exactly. So we're good on the reading part?
We are good.
Okay. So, and what I was talking about with the, and who the individual is, and I'm not going to bring it up. I'm not even going to bring up the circumstance or anything like that, because I don't want to pinpoint, in any way, shape, or form, obviously
Right.
who the individual is. But, in let's say in recent months, and Mike and I were talking about it when he was here for Easter, I've had to encounter a person that I know is kind of acting a fool, and I'll just put it that way.
Right.
To individuals that I'm also, close to or know of, and blah, blah, blah. And, so basically it's everything we just talked about not fucking with people, doing the right thing, and blah, blah, blah. That this individual is not doing the right thing, fucking with people, blah, blah, blah. But the worst part about it is the individual is, kind of putting on this holier than thou type of front.
Of course.
Except kind of like we used to do, with
right.
with the exception of the fuck uppedness with with the other individual or individuals that I know, that I'm also involved with.
Right.
And it was, and what I was telling Mike is that it's the first time that I can recall, in years, and I'm not talking about a couple years. I mean, it's been so long since I've had to be in that circumstance to be around somebody that I know is fucking up or acting a fool. And I think the person probably has to have an inkling that I might know.
Yeah.
I has to,
Right.
but then I didn't want to be any particular way to this person. I wanted to the high road. I'm all over
Right.
it,
Right.
and I just don't want to be that person today. Even though I'm not doing anything, I just don't want to be that,
Right.
And it was really hard because I can't remember. So it's been that long ago that I can't even remember the last time I've had to do it.
Right.
But Mike and I were just kind of talking about, just how difficult it is to be in that circumstance because, I mean, your point, correct me if I'm wrong, is that if you have somebody like that you know of in your life that's doing that, they're not in your life, right?
Right. Right. Yeah. But yes. Right. But exactly. And clearly, it's not like somebody you have to deal with on a daily basis or anything.
Correct.
But right. And you wouldn't.
Right.
But it is someone that you have to deal with. And I mean, there's some ancillary people in my life like that too. Clearly do not deal with them on a daily basis or weekly or even sometimes monthly. And that's fine. There's a reason for that. But you do still have to, because of mutual relationships with these people. You do have to come in contact with them occasionally, and it's I mean, it all comes down to you hear this in leads all the time, right? Like, let the clown finish his show,
right?
And
that's a good point.
And sometimes you have to, and it's not a show that you want to watch, and you certainly didn't buy a ticket for the show, but but yet there's the show.
Right.
You are looking at it through no fault of your own, or maybe and again, you're right. You're a little 4-step action, a little 10-step action, a little inventory. Right. Yes, there's a part in there somehow. Some way we have a part that we play in the clown show,
right?
No matter what the clown show is. Right. But I mean, yes, and it is difficult, and especially when the clown is negatively affecting someone that you care about, sucks. But powerless over people, places, and things, right? I mean, there's you're not doing anything wrong, and yes, it hurts to watch it happen, but you're not causing the pain, and when you really comes down to it, there's nothing you can do to stop it, which really fucking sucks. But it just is, you just stand off on the side and be there, be an example, and be, know that the person that is being negatively effective can come to you for some relief. Right. That's all we can fucking do.
And that's exactly what I was thinking is that well, you're the one that said it out how many months ago. When did I become the fucking responsible
right
one, and and you said that, I was just thinking when you were talking about, like, I'm like, yeah, when did I become the person that you could lean on,
yeah, right.
And I'm like Jesus Christ, but yeah, I mean, I don't know, game recognizes game, right?
Oh yeah.
So I see it, and I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that game. It's a game that I don't want to play anymore, but it's a game that I played very well,
Right.
for years.
Yeah.
And I was a star of that, that game for years, and went around, hurting people and didn't give a flying fuck,
Yep.
But yes, I can be that other person now, and I don't even have to try to be the better person. That's the cool part, is that I also don't want to be that. I don't want to be like, whatever the circumstances in life. Oh, you got shit on whoever it is. It's a family, a friend, or whatever. Oh, you got shit on by this person. Look at me. I'm not that way. This is, you can come to me, and wait, let me just pat. Yeah, there we go. I'm just both hands, pat myself on the back. Look at me. Of all I can do for you.
No.
So I don't even have to be that guy. All I got to do is be me, and that's enough, for, to not have to be that. Like, I like to hit the Cloud Show reference. That's perfect, Yeah, buy tickets to the show. But every once in a while, you turn the corner, and you're like, fuck, I'm at the goddamn show. Son of a bitch.
Fuck, the circus is in town again. God damn it.
Like, yeah, there's a fucking clown riding a goddamn unicycle with a fucking monkey. Look at that.
Look at that.
But no, it was just I thought it was interesting to bring up on here, and I completely forgot about writing it down. But I'm glad I thought about it, because I think that anyone who's got a little bit of and I hope that if I was, or when we were, 2-3 years sober, 4 or 5 years sober, I hope that I would have recognized the same thing. I think I would have.
Right.
I'm certainly not healed or cured today, but I think I was well enough at that time frame. I think we were, where I think I would have recognized, the same thing, and still been able to be that same person. I think maybe not as, but I mean,
I'd look back at, 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years, whatever. I was still, under the tent. In parts of my life, I absolutely was under that circus tent. I wasn't in the center ring anymore, but I was in the tent. Absolutely. And today I'm fucking not in the goddamn tent. So, it's again, progress, not perfection. Right.
Yeah, and you know what? It just reminded me, and again, I'm not going to bring up the person, but when I was in Madison, I called you. And I'm like, this thing just came back into my life that I thought was gone, and blah, blah, blah. And it just about knocked me on my ass, emotionally,
Yeah. Right.
And, today it's, I wouldn't necessarily, not that I wouldn't think twice about it, but, I've been there and, kind of done that sort of thing for, a number of years. And I don't think, I think I still would have been a positive influence, just not like you said, hanging around the outside of the tent still, maybe still under the tent, but on the outskirts a little bit, not necessarily playing with the clown. I'm not on the unicycle next to the clown, but
not in any of the rings. But, still sitting, probably under the bleachers somewhere.
At least up in the nosebleeds, going, I'm still here, motherfucker. I'm still here.
Yep.
Yeah, God damn it! I thought I was better than that when I was at that age, quote unquote, of my sobriety. But.
Exactly, and certainly better than you were. You weren't in the rings anymore. You weren't juggling anything, but
well, we're always juggling some stuff,
Right.
Like I can never remember the line, but John Candy and Steve Martin in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, when it's like, well, you play with your balls a lot. Steve Martin, I do not play with my balls. What does he say? You got more ball handling time than Larry Bird or something like that.
He's like that.
Yeah, he's like, you know what I want? He's like, you know what I need? He goes like, what, an extra set of hands? Something like that. It's all good stuff. So, okay, on that note, on ball juggling, looking at the time, what do you think, Mikey?
I think it is time for us to take a quick break. We will be right back with more Sober Not Mature, juggling, and otherwise after these words from our sponsors.
Hey, Mike, I have a question for you.
All right, I may have an answer for you.
So if you're one of our fine listeners and you wanted to know a little bit more about the podcast, more than just listening to us ramble, where would you go as a listener? What do you think you'd do?
I believe you would go to SoberNotMature.com.
Ding. Ding. Okay, good. Now, next question is, what if you've been, I don't know, seeing us on social media, you've seen our t-shirts, you've seen some of the pictures we posted, and the person's like, you know what, I want to be cool like those guys and get a t-shirt or a coffee mug. Where would they go for that? I know this is a tougher question, but where would they go for that one?
They would go to SoberNotMature.com.
They could do that. Yes, you're right. Because once you're on SoberNotMature.com, they can hit the store link and go to our second website, which is SoberNotMatureShop.com.
See, I was going to say store. I'd have screwed it up.
You know what? The thing of it is you got it right the first time. Everything people want is at, go ahead with the first website,
SoberNotMature.com.
And if you mess around on there, you're going to see everything we have. Obviously, we have our merchandise. See a little bit about us, a little bit about our background. We posted some other things on there, but I don't know. You can even sign up for our email list. And here's the good thing. We barely email anyone ever, so you're not going to get spammed.
Oh, no, absolutely not. That would be like effort on our part, and that's not going to happen.
Right. I have never used our mailing list yet. I may at some point, but that would take structure and discipline, which I don't think either one of us have, do we?
I know I don't.
All right. So just to wrap up here, to visit our main website and get to everything that is us, where would they go, Mike?
SoberNotMature.com.
Visit that today, right?
Right.
Okay, I think we're done. Are you done?
I'm done.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Welcome back. And again, the fucking math, man. It was right on it went from 51 to 52. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I got to do the fucking math. And I even went over because I'm like, this seems like a long time. Let me talk again. But anyhow. So yeah, no more clowns. Hopefully no more circuses, at least not large ones or big ones. But
not today.
Real quick before I forget, because I made a note of this before too. Did you see Shirley's post about Heather's episode last week?
No, Shirley. I don't even know who the hell's Shirley.
Shirley, our listener.
Oh, yes. No, I did not. Shirley, don't call me Shirley.
And she listens on a regular basis. She's sitting there with her mouth wide open right now. Yeah, you don't know who Shirley is?
Okay, I barely know who the fuck I am.
I know, it's just funny. So it's okay, Shirley. We love you. We do. We really do.
We do.
We're gonna get to. I actually messaged her the other day or texted her, and I said, yeah, we should do, because she's a. Did I tell you she's a hiker too? You knew that, didn't you?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, she does. She goes around does kind of same thing as I do, but kicking around her place. I'm like, I want to go up to like lower parts of Michigan at some point too, and I have been a little bit. But I told her, I said, find a cool trail, somewhere out of the ordinary that you think I'd like, and let me know. I said we should go hit a trail this summer. So we will. Yeah, we're gonna actually do that at some point. But so yeah, just one of the episode clips that I posted. This was from Shirley. Heather is so relatable in how she describes her inner world and wanderlust. Also, cheers to adoptive mothers everywhere. This, and that was in capital letters, all capital letters, THIS. This is why you guys have a great podcast. Real, honest slices of life from so many different sectors of the sober community. So, giving us, and she does. I mean, she gives us nice little, it's these emotional strokes every once in a while, which we appreciate.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's nice. When I thought about it, first of all, because I took the post and I put it in a nice little thing and reposted it, because I just thought it was nice. But the one thing that she said, though, different slices of people from the sober community. I'm like, regardless of where, I mean, and I know she's sincere with it, but I think that's a great way to put it, because you think about a lot of the guests we've had. Some of them are not. I mean, clearly not by choice. These people just, fucking, come to us, or friends of ours that are doing weird things,
right?
Weird but cool,
right?
Out of the ordinary but cool things. And then just people that end up, just messaging us, and we get on and we end up talking to, really ridiculously interesting people, and not just your same old cookie cutter people all the time, which I think is great. I mean, it's and we didn't try to do it. Which again is wonderful. But so anyhow, Shirley, I appreciate the comment. We appreciate the comment. I know I was going to say I saw that Heather like that, I think on Facebook. So I know that Heather saw it also.
Cool.
I think she even loved it. She hearted it. So, yeah, just it was a great comment. So Shirley, that Shirley that we know, that friend Shirley.
Yes. Yes, I do now.
I know. I'm just fucking with you. I know. It's just out of the blue. I get it. Maybe I should have said fangirl Shirley. Should I refer to her that way?
I would have known then.
God damn.
Right off the bat.
Shirley, that's my fault now. It's not Mike's fault. It's my fault. I mean,
it's Mike's fault. Mike doesn't fucking have any clue what's going on anywhere. So it's Mike's fault.
Except the help. I was trying to help you.
I'm taking responsibility for my inaction.
Fine. All right. So, God, couple of different things here. So, this is one thing on the from one of the readings, and we're still in the fourth month and fourth step and blah blah blah, all that good stuff.
Sure.
So, I ran across something from Keep It Simple. I just kind of wanted to run this by you because I thought it was interesting, if nothing else to think about. So it said, we avoid the fourth step. We put it off. We're scared of what we will find in us. Okay. So I guess I'll just ask that in the general sense. I know we've talked about our experiences and whatever, but do you agree with that we avoid, put off, and are scared of what we will find inside of us? Do you agree with any of that or all of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you figure, well, it's in, the first year, generally. And, we're coming to and remembering things. And, the last thing we want to do is dive fucking deeper into it, but again, the whole point of taking an inventory is finding, credits and debits in the inventory. So you're finding the good stuff too. Most people you consumed in very early sobriety with all the bad shit you did,
right.
And so, taking a deeper look at that scares the hell out of us. It's bad enough when we're just getting flashes of it, 60, 90 days, of what true assholes we were. So of course, taking a deep dive into ourselves and looking at exactly what we are scares the shit out of us. But clearly it's something we have to do to put it behind us and move on. And of course, hindsight's 2020. Yeah, we look back and go, God damn, we had to do that. Fuck.
Right.
Get our shit in order. But looking at it from the other side of it, look at it as something that we have to do in the future. Yeah, it scares the hell out of us, man. That's natural. But as someone who did it and who, of course, now does a daily inventory, it's a good thing, man. It makes your life better. So just fucking get it done.
Yeah, and when I first wrote that down, and I was thinking about once again, I know I say this all the time, but I try really, really hard not to think too deeply about this, because the surface thought was, well, we were also, had this mindset that, well, we have to do it so we can get up there and tell our story.
Right.
We got to do the fourth and fifth, and we can't, we're not allowed to. And just as a reminder for anyone, either a reminder or to just let everyone know again, and it's recommended, I think, probably in other areas of the country too, but certainly in Cleveland,
right.
Until you do your fourth and your fifth step, you are not allowed to lead a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. That's usually the rule. And it was told to both of us, so we were trying to kind of rush it in to get it done by our 1 year, because you got to be a year sober also,
right?
To lead
all these unwritten rules, but they're kind of there for a reason, right?
Yeah, they're there for a really, really good fucking reason. Because even in a year, I think back at I jokingly call it my blackout lead because I have no idea what I said.
Right.
I don't know how long I led. You made one point that you brought up and you stood up and made a comment about, but other than that, I don't know what I talked about, and I don't think I had a lot to talk about because, we had a lot of things go on in that time frame, but still, a year is not really a long time to really to get a really good hold on. Our heads didn't even pop out of our asses. Mine didn't until I was, fucking 9 months sober,
right.
And it, for the first 2 or 3 months, we don't know what the fuck we're doing,
right?
Literally at all, so, what are you going to talk about up there,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the thing that I said, it was something along the lines of that I don't want, I think I said and I've said it since then, because you made a point of it, and I didn't know that I said it, but it is how I feel. I don't want to forget everything that I've learned. I'm not afraid of drinking anymore. I'm not afraid of relapse. I'm not afraid of slips. I'm not afraid of any of that shit. I'm certainly not afraid of fucking triggers, because we don't believe in them. But what I'm afraid of is forgetting. And now, granted, that might seem like the same thing, but it's not. It's not. It's if I forget who I am, and the easiest way for me to forget who I am is exactly what we started talking about with the reading. Is don't pick up the garbage. Don't make my bed. Don't start cutting back on my readings. Doing all the taking away things like that. It's going to take away from me, and sooner or later, I'm going to forget that I'm not supposed to drink.
Right.
It's not going to be like, I get a case of the fuckets, or something triggered me. I just forgot, because the reason I forgot is because I stopped doing all this shit.
Right.
I mean, think about something that you haven't. I can't even think of an example, but some task that you haven't done in a while, and then you start to do it again. You're like, I don't even fucking remember how to do this anymore. I don't remember. I can't turn on my computer. I can't drive my car. I can't, whatever it is.
Right.
You don't remember because you haven't done it. But if you do it on a daily basis, it's just fucking habit. You're like, I don't even know what I did today, on my computer at work, because it's just, I know how to work the system.
Yeah.
I just do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, right. Whenever I have I'll have a week off or something, or, a vacation or blah, 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 whatever. When I get back in the truck after, whatever, however long it is, I joke to myself all the time, right? I'm like, I remember how to do this. Yeah. And then, hey, guess what? I remember how to do it. But, but I joke to myself in that very way. It's, yes, I haven't done this in 7 days or 10 days or whatever the fuck it's been, 2 weeks, right. I wonder if I remember how to do this. It's same thing with, all the rest of it. Like you said, though, but if we're doing it consistently on a daily basis, or, hourly basis, or, depending on what it is, if we're doing it all the time, then, again, telling the truth, not stealing, playing by the rules, whatever the fuck those are.
Right.
Right. If we're doing them consistently, it's just the way we live our lives. That's it. That's the way we live our lives, and we don't have to even really think about it. I mean, I don't have to, and I still have to think about telling the truth.
Right. Yeah,
but that's okay. Yeah, right.
Or like not blowing up at somebody, or not letting this shit just spit out of my mouth. That these vile words that I want to have come shooting out of my mouth all the time. I have that ability now to, as they say, practice the pause, or think before you speak, or all those sort of things. But I mean, but the same deal though with that is that we trained ourselves that we think first and then, rather than shoot first and ask questions later.
Right.
But anything like that, it's just a matter of I don't know. It's a matter of this repetition that we deal with on a daily basis, and teaching ourselves literally, where it just becomes second nature.
Right.
So.
Yep.
but yeah, I mean the 4-step thing, and I guess once again, I wasn't thinking about it in that manner. Like again, it's scary and putting it off, and and we did. I mean, we sat down with our both of us sat down with our sponsors at 6-7 months, whatever it was,
right?
And we didn't do it until another 5 months later. Maybe it was 4 months. Was it 4 months?
Yeah, I don't know.
We waited. If it wasn't 6 months that we waited to do our 4th and 5th step to complete them, it was pretty goddamn close. So yeah, both of us did. Let me read that again. Avoided, put off, scared. Yeah, and here's the other thing that you mentioned. You mentioned again, which I like repeating this, because I think it's really important, is that I missed that day in class where I was supposed to think about all the good things that I did too. I just was thinking that the 4-step was just, here's all the ways I fucked up, and this is all the people I fucked with.
Right.
I didn't realize it. It's the same way I didn't realize when, I was 3.5 or almost 4 years sober, when I noticed the step 10 said when we were wrong. I'm like, really? Because seriously, I was in Madison, so I was at least 3.5.
Right.
Between 3.5 to 4 years sober. Sitting there looking at step 10 on the wall going, Are you when? Really? When? Like, God damn it. Because a guy brought that up. He talked about it. He said his sponsor brought that up, and then the steps were literally right behind him on the fucking wall. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. How did I fucking not know that? Or not see that?
Right. It's just selective, something or other.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I wasn't doing the 10-step. I just, I was going to do it one way or the other. But I mean, I didn't realize it was a foregone conclusion. I was going to be fucking wrong all the time.
Right.
At least that these guys, however many years prior to that, back in the goddamn 30s, said, by the way, dickhead, you're going to be wrong like all the fucking time.
Right.
So when you are, you should have properly admitted it. Fuck. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting, and obviously we don't need to go into all the details again about the 4-step, but everything you said, you're right. I mean, I didn't realize how much that actually lined up with everything that I did, and everything that you did too. But
absolutely.
Well, again, every once in a while, I suppose we gotta be back in the shit to figure out what's
special.
What.
We are not unique. We are not different. We are garden variety drunks.
That we are. So, and I've got kind of another question here. And this is not really. It happens to be two celebrities, but two very, very well known people that went to rehab recently. So, I think everyone's probably heard about Tiger Woods, and I've heard about Britney Spears. Nothing to do with them. It could have been any two other celebrities. It didn't have to be them. It just happened to be them at the same time-ish.
All right.
So, Tiger Woods, again, he's on whatever. He was on Oxy, I think, like that, and fucking, rolled his car, and then within again, yeah, same drugs, same shit found on him, almost the same. It wasn't in the same place, but I mean, so that was that. And then whatever it was, a couple weeks later, it's like, oh yeah, he left the country and went to rehab. So then, Britney Spears, who's a, just this on and off fucking train wreck, gets her DUI, and then, same deal. A couple of days ago, there, was just released or announced or whatever the deal was that now she's going into rehab. So
hadn't even heard that one.
It literally it was either, if not today, it might have been yesterday or the day before. It was relatively recent. And I'm sure that, people finally get on like, listen, you need to at least, even if you're not ready or you don't want to, because I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty goddamn sure that when it comes down to these stupid celebrities, is that somebody is in their ear going one way or the other. Even if you don't think you have a problem, you've got this visual problem right now, and you at least got to go to fucking rehab. You got to do this for a little bit. You got to do this to get some sort of your image back, or you're fucked.
Yeah, back problems.
Right. So here's my question from all day, everyday people like us. Okay. So do you think that celebrities like this, I mean, publicly having issues, I mean, no one's above it. I mean, we all know that. So that's not the miracle part of it or the unbelievable part of it. But, then kind of along those lines, then go into rehab, and do you think this process, so they fuck up, and this is obviously in everyone's eyes, and then they go to get better, quote unquote. I think I'll use big old fucking air quotes on that. They go to rehab. Do you think that this helps the sober community, hurts the sober community, has any effect? Does it matter at all? What is your opinion on that?
Yes.
How many times have I said this to you that I can't argue with that answer with these blanket answers that are just yes to cover everything, but
right. I mean, clearly, in some quarters it hurts because, but it doesn't matter if it's celebrity or not, your cousin is fucking causing havoc and so they get sent to rehab and to again fix the back problems and and they don't do the work and they're not serious about it, they're not ready, whatever the case may be, and people have no idea, go, well, that shit doesn't work.
Right.
So I mean, it's just on a bigger scale, but it's the exact same thing as a famous person doing it. Right. Does it help? I don't know, occasionally, like probably the same odds as the rest of us. It fucking works because they get in there and they pull their head out of their ass and start doing the work. And hey, what do you know? It fucking worked. So yeah, I mean, just because it's a bigger scale, more eyeballs on it, whatever. I think it's the exact same thing as you or I, or Joe down the street, or whatever, man. Your cousin who's whatever had her babies taken away from her. Yeah, it's all the same. It's all the fucking same. It's all individual. As Bob always says, it's an inside job. It doesn't matter how many eyeballs are on you while you're fucking doing it. Either you do the work or it doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just to be clear to everyone, that just in case you're wondering, neither one of our cousins, we have no cousins that had babies taken away from them. So
Yeah.
yet.
As far as we know.
Yeah, as far as we know, but no, and you make a good point, because here's the thing that I thought about. The reason I wanted to write it down, because again, it has nothing to do with with the fact that I mean the background of Britney Spears and the background of Tiger Woods, or like you said again with him, all these things are 100% factual, but
right.
And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be them. It could have been any other celebrity. It happens all the time. That fucking knob chick that couldn't sing the national anthem, whatever that was a couple years ago. And then she's like, I'm really looking forward to rehab. Really? You are? Really? Have a great fucking time. Yeah, we saw that. We saw where that one was coming. I'd like to do a follow-up on that just to see where she's at. But so, yeah, to your exact point, I think, and for whatever reason, I think that whether it was some years ago or whatever, there was an argument that was brought up. I think, I don't know if it was before we got sober, if I heard it from somebody, or my dad talking about, whatever the case is, that sometimes these celebrities, obviously breaking at that point was considered breaking their anonymity, which we know different now. I mean, any one of us or any one of them, they can talk about what they do and how they do it. It's not a problem. It shouldn't out somebody else. That's anonymity. But then what if they fall? They're on a larger scale and blah blah blah. But to your point, what does it matter? Like you said, whether it's Tiger fucking Woods, or it's me, or it's you, or it's Britney goddamn Spears, we're still all just fucking human beings. And that's what I was thinking about on the one line, is that so okay, so it's a good indication that nobody's above this thing. My sponsor in Mequon used to say this in Wisconsin, which I loved. The line, I still do, is the same dog that bit me bit you too. And I love that. It's so fucking simple. Which is what I need.
Right.
So I mean, that's great, but but yeah, it's I don't know, it's just curiosity wise to think of it, if it did hurt. But I mean, to your exact point though, they're the same, but on a grander scale, yeah, I mean, could it hurt, because it's on such a higher level, and some people are going to be like, they have no idea one way or the other. I think these days it's different today than it was certainly 20 years ago, even maybe 10 or 15 years ago. There's a little bit less of the, I do think that, the mindset, the stigma, and I'm not saying it's not still looked down upon by plenty of people, because I think it is, but I just think there's, to use the word and the phrase I sometimes hate, but the grace that people give alcoholics and drug addicts these days, there's a little bit more grace today than there used to be, so maybe, I'm not saying that Tiger Woods flipping his car, Britney Spears doing what she does,
dancing with knives.
Yeah, and I don't think she's helping the cause at all. But I don't. I agree with you. I don't necessarily
but for
think it's any
every
different.
Britney Spears, there's a Danny Trejo. So
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, and to plug our friends over there at the Sober Curator, and they do it. I guess I haven't paid attention. I think it's the celebrity, at least of the month. They might do more than that. But there's if you go on the Sober Curator, thesobercurator.com, they have sober celebrities all the time, and they showcase them and they talk about them, and they write articles about them, and there's a ton of it. They point out people where every once in a while, I'm just like, some of these TV shows or movies or whatever, I'm like, fuck that person. God, did I know that person was sober?
Right.
I'm like, well, that's kind of fucking cool,
Yeah.
But like you said, the Danny Trejos and the all the other people
Craig
out
Ferguson.
there. How long's he been sober now?
Probably pushing 30 years.
Anthony Hopkins, 50.
Right. Yeah.
Did I tell you I downloaded his book? I didn't start listening to it yet, because my Audible subscription was it was getting to the point where they were going to pop the price on me, so I was going to cancel it. And they're like, "You have 2 credits available. You're going to lose them." I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So I grabbed Anthony Hopkins and
first one's
somebody else.
free.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, the credits are. I mean, you pay like whatever it is when I get these deals, they're like $1, they're like $1.99 a month, or $3.99, and then you get this credit. But if you don't, I mean, if I would have just canceled, I would have lost the credits, Right. So I've got 2 or 3 books now that are there. So at some point, I suppose I got to start traveling more, But now here's the other thing that I just heard recently, and I don't know if you heard. So we talked kind of in depth about another celebrity, the whole Matthew Perry thing,
right?
And that's been it's at least 2 years, if not 3 years, that he died. I don't remember when it was now.
Yeah, so 2 sounds about right.
Yeah. So more recently, and I think it was this week or last week. So the person that was supplying all the ketamine, and she was like nicknamed the Ketamine Queen. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I saw something about that. Yep.
Yeah, so she was actually sentenced to 15 years in prison for her part in that whole thing, saying that she played a big part in. Well, and here's my question. So
yes.
Before you,
yes.
Seriously, I want your opinion on this, because I don't know that I agree with that. Okay. But I want to get your opinion on that. So whether it's, again, take away Matthew Perry, take him out of the picture, take away the fact that she's got a catchy nickname, the ketamine Queen. So it's an individual that was supplying ketamine to, somebody, and taking advantage of this individual, supposedly. Well, I'm just saying that's how it's written. Supposedly taking advantage, as in the doctors and all those people, as all this shit. Do you think that a person like that should receive 15 years in prison?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Of course not. On so many levels. First of all, nobody was fucking taking advantage of anybody. Nobody ever held a gun to my head, made me go to a drug dealer and buy drugs. I went very willingly. I stood outside in the rain waiting for drug dealers. It's such bullshit. It all comes down to legalize everything, man. And then take all that money that we are using to enforce it and blow up boats and blah blah blah, and take it and put it towards treatment and education and treating the fucking disease. Stop treating the symptoms and treat the fucking disease. No, that's God. Yeah, it's a problem with society, and I could sit here for hours going on about how stupid it is. Right. No, again, nobody forced me to buy drugs. Nobody forced me to take drugs. Nobody forced me to, Jesus Christ. No one took advantage of me. Nobody tricked me into, here, kid, try this. It's candy. That never fucking happened. I never trick-or-treated and got drugs in my candy. Nobody's going to give away their fucking drugs to kids. They're keeping them for themselves. It's just, it's bullshit. No one, if you kill somebody or whatever, you actually kill somebody. Selling someone drugs and they die is not killing them. Right. That's goddamn capitalism. So there.
And you know what? I feel the same way. And that's the reason I wrote it down. That's why I said, just give me a minute before you me, because I wasn't going along the lines of what the media and everyone else is. Right. I'm not, because when we had talked about that, and then I watched the documentary, and I was I think I did the Sober Curator episode where we talked about Matthew Perry and this stuff. And I said kind of the same thing. I'm like, I don't like the Netflix documentary that they did. It was all about them looking at the entire hour or whatever it was on this Matthew Perry thing, was them looking for who do we blame and who's wrong. And I'm like, that's fucked up, Yeah. So somebody died. It doesn't, I like Matthew Perry. I enjoyed him, but it doesn't
I'm agnostic on him. I don't really give a shit one way or another.
Right. But the thing of it is that, but my point is that it doesn't fucking matter that it was Matthew Perry. It could have been anyone. It could have been anyone with Exactly. It could have been anyone with a lot of fucking money that, and I mean, I know that, clearly he wasn't the only one that she was dealing with,
Right. Well, yeah.
So
Don't make a career off of one person.
right. And the same thing now, okay. So go back to the doctors a little bit. Yeah. If they're, their oaths and this and that, and breaking laws and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So all that stuff is what it is. But everyone was trying to say, well, he died. Matthew Perry died, so these people killed him, or these people took advantage of him. And the same thing as you just said. I just don't agree with it,
Yeah,
and I don't necessarily agree with. Again, I don't know. I didn't read the entire article. I don't know everything that she was charged with. But I just think, I mean, literally, somebody could walk down the street right now and shoot somebody and get less time than that,
Yeah, right.
And that's a fucking fact,
Yep.
That's not just saying, I'm not just making the shit up. Or they may get approached with 15 and they'll do 3, because it gets pleaded down and this and that. It goes from literally some dude walked up and fucking shot somebody. That's murder.
Yep.
And it gets pled down to manslaughter or something and blah, blah, whatever.
Yep.
And that's what it is, So this whole, I mean, that again, whole nother topic that we could talk about, but I was just kind of curious. So, I mean, you and I think are clearly on the same page with that. It just, I'm like, okay, I don't know. These people were, just because it was, and I think it's sickening just because it was Matthew Perry, that now all these people are up in fucking arms. There's millions. I mean, there's the opioid crisis. They're all. I had no idea. I didn't know about this whole ketamine thing, but I told you I got my hit of it.
Yeah,
I got it during my procedure. I'm a ket vet. I just made that up myself. It's again, I'm just kind of proud of the fact, which I should be, but I'm proud of the fact that there's one drug that I've again kind of, I'm working on air quotes this time, done that you haven't. I'm just kind of proud of that. But all right, so again, the Ketamine Queen, blah blah blah. Just we're on the same page with that. So okay, all right. So this one was just kind of, I got a couple of tidbits. You want a couple of tidbits?
Sure.
Okay. So I don't even know where this place was. I probably have the article on it, but it's called the Sober Bar, SOBR, and then bar. So it's some alcohol-free bar. Their general manager got a DUI.
Nice.
It's in I think it's in Ireland or someplace in Europe or the UK or whatever the deal is. But again, tidbit, just it makes me laugh. It's like do you remember when the head of Mothers Against Drunk Drivers got a DUI years ago?
I don't.
Yeah, it was. God, I should look it up. And was she in? I don't know if she was the head of it in the Wisconsin chapter.
Okay.
I won't look it up now. Like we can look it up some other time. But I just thought and at the time, this was 30 fucking years ago or something like that. I thought that was funny as fuck, because I'm just like, really?
Yeah.
This is what you're supposed to be doing. You're against this, right?
All right.
You get, but that goes back to like the Tiger Woods and the Britney Spears things. What the fuck are you guys even doing driving? You guys got enough money, just fucking pay somebody to drive you.
Exactly.
Oh, I know what the other day I was, so I've been listening to, I listen to Joe Rogan, and every once in a while they bring up, and I've got some stuff on, I'll bring that up later, because that'll go into a deeper thing. But they bring up Steve Martin every once in a while, because talking about, like, obviously back to his stand up and how funny he was and all sort of things. Which, I mean, you and I are in agreement on that. I know that much.
Yep.
But the fact that at that time, he's filling up these arenas, before anyone did,
right,
and just doing his fucking stupid thing and his King Tut song, his fucking Buddy Ears and all this stupid shit. So I'm like, I wonder if I can just grab one of these, his album and listen to it. And I think I could have gotten all of them, but the one I picked was Wild and Crazy Guy.
Yep.
And I listened to that entire album on YouTube. So again, didn't watch it. It wasn't video. It's just I listened to it on YouTube, and I've got a side note on that in a second too. But I listened to part of it in the car while I was doing my shopping, because I found it like before I was out grocery shopping. I'm like, I got to look for this, and I found it. And then just listen to the rest. I was doing some shit with the podcast or whatever, and I'm listening to it, laughing my fucking ass off. It's fucking hilarious. I'm telling you, anyone, especially if you're too young to remember when Steve Martin did stand up,
right?
It's fucking funny,
Yep.
And he's even talking. He's like, I don't do this and that. I do my act for whatever. He goes, every once in a while I do my act for my parents. He goes like, yeah, but I take the dirty stuff out. And I mean, that's all he was. He was fucking filthy half the time, But here's the funny part with which I had never heard, but they had brought it up on the podcast with a couple of different people. Apparently, and I don't know if this is complete truth or part of the reason why he stopped doing stand up, but they said that at least one of the reasons, or kind of part of it, was that he didn't know anymore when he got on stage if he was really doing something new and funny or whatever, or if he was just people just liked him for him. And he said he'd do these shows. I guess he talked about it in interviews. He said it didn't matter what I say. People were laughing, they were screaming, they were howling. He goes, I got to a point where he goes, I didn't know if what I was doing was even funny anymore.
Right.
He had that level of fame, where it just didn't matter what he could have stood up there and read the goddamn encyclopedia, I'm sure. And people would have thought it was fucking hilarious. But last thing on him, he said he was talking about philosophy and this and that, and he says, blah blah blah, and then he said Socrates. And I'm like, really? Because Wild and Crazy Guy, what year ish was that? Late
78, I believe.
Yeah, and I didn't even look it up, when I was doing it, but I'm like, I mean, I know it from obviously Bill and Ted,
right?
But I'm like, fuck, man, Steve Martin is the first one. He said. It brought it up, that Socrates thing. I'm like, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
I thought you might appreciate that.
Well, he was a philosophy major in college.
That's what he was talking about. Something if he was talking about that he studied that or whatever the case was.
Yeah.
And I didn't
majored in philosophy in college. Yeah,
that had to have been what he was talking about then. And then said, this and that and blah blah blah. And then Socrates. I'm like, I got to write that fucking thing down. So, but yeah, it was great. I mean, I really enjoyed it. But last thing on the YouTube thing, I came across, because I get fed these articles, podcast shit, not just hiking shit all the time, but podcast shit, because I, obviously, because of all
you're
the
a
shit
podcaster.
hike? I'm a podcast that I hike. So imagine that. Google feeds me all this fucking garbage. But they said that a lot of times one of the reasons that YouTube is so popular is not necessarily for the videos. Yes, people watch videos and video podcasting and all sort of things.
Right.
But they said sometimes when somebody can't have their phone out, or they don't have a cellular connection or a clear connection, he said they can listen to, they'll go to YouTube to listen to their podcasts, or something like that while they're working or whatever, because it's on their computer and obviously through the Wi-Fi or blah, 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 which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because maybe they're at a place where they can't have their phone out at work or whatever. But the article was basically saying that that's one of the ideas of YouTube. Now, we do have a YouTube channel.
Right.
And all of our episodes, because I was curious after that, it was it appears that somehow, some way, and I don't know if it's doing it in blocks or if just as of a handful of episodes, something happened and they're not being pulled up anymore. But I think it's been a handful of episodes, I think, when like our last maybe 3 episodes weren't up on YouTube, but a lot of them are. I didn't go through and look individually. But I mean, again, there's no video. It's just you could listen to the audio of our podcast on YouTube,
right?
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well that makes a little bit more sense, But I mean, we don't get anything from YouTube. We don't have enough listeners, followers. I think we have 30 people that follow us on that channel. But I mean, when people are making their millions on there, it's when, obviously they've got all this different content and they're getting all this different stuff, and then they get the advertisers and the typical stuff, the blah blah blah. So. But anyhow, so that was it on YouTube, and that was it on Steve Martin. But I'm gonna have to listen to Let's Get Small, and then what was the Comedy Isn't Pretty is the other one.
Right. Yep.
I'm gonna have to look those up. But I'll tell you, I swear to God, anyone who has never listened to Steve Martin, I'm not saying you have to, but you fucking laugh. You will fucking laugh unless you don't have a sense of humor. So
right.
All right, so it looks like we are like right on the dot here, and I don't know. I mean, unless I got more shit. Unless you want to keep talking or no?
No,
I know.
Some of us have to get up and go to work tomorrow.
I don't, and that's the other thing I'm thinking about. I'm like, I just got to drive out to Cleveland tomorrow. So anyhow, I think we're good. So yeah, your turn, my friend.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to yet another episode of Sober Not Mature. As always, be kind to each other, be good to each other, go out and do something nice for somebody else this week, and don't tell anybody you did it. Now, from the bottom of my heart to the depths of my soul, from the beginning of time until the ends of the earth, always and eternally, fuck you. Now it's time, kids. It's time for you to fuck off. Then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off till you get to a gate with a sign on it saying, you cannot fuck off past here. Climb over that gate. Dream the impossible dream and keep fucking off forever.
Yes. Oh, you know what? My scroll moment. Can I tell you about this real quick? My doctor's appointment.
Sure.
I just saw my 11-year-old. Okay, so real quick, I've got to go in for a follow up for my cardiology appointment. No big deal, but the doctor said before you come in, like a week prior, he goes, go in and get an echocardiogram. They want to see the output of my heart. It's just a little bit down from what normal is, but not bad. But he goes, I just want to check it, 3 months out from when it was. So I scheduled it, blah, blah, blah. That was supposed to be set up for the 28th, and then my cardiology follow up on the 4th. So the other day I get a phone call and I'm working and I see it's from, this hospital. So I call them like, oh, we're doing a pre-register thing, blah, blah, blah. And it's not a big deal. It's an ultrasound. It's not really a procedure. I'm like, you realize I'm just getting the echo, right? And then she's like, yeah, but we got to do this anyhow to verify the information. It'll take 5 minutes, fine. So I'm working and not really paying attention to this whole thing. She's going through the insurance and this and that. We verified the insurance and this is blah, 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 blah. Then she's like, and how would you like to pay for that? And I'm like, wait a second, pay for what? And she's like, the 2,300. And I'm like, what? What is that for?
Yeah.
She's like, well, that's your portion. I'm like, how can that be my fucking portion? Yeah. And she's like, well, this is what you have to pay. And she's giving me nothing. Right. And I'm like, I don't just have an extra fucking $2,300. And I'm like, what? She's like, well, I can give you, you're eligible for a discount for, whatever. And she doesn't explain what the discount is, but she's like, it could be $1,850. I'm like, I have fucking $1,800. I didn't say fucking $1,800 either. I'm like, I mean, if it's this, I'm like, I'll just have to cancel out. I have to tell the cardiologist. I'm like, I can't afford, throw this out there. And that was it. She's like, well, you'll have to talk to whatever, and I'll transfer you down. I'm like, I don't have time for this right now. And I hung up. So the next day I get a phone call, and again from the hospital. So get a message, I'm blah, blah, blah from here. Call me back. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. Not the same lady, but I call back. And she's like, just wanted to kind of follow up and see if anyone got in touch with you. This came across my desk. Has anyone contacted you about this? And I said, yeah. I'm like, I'm going to have to cancel it because I can't afford that, Right. And she's like, did she give you any other options? I'm like, no. Tell her exactly how the phone call went. She's like, well, here's what we could do. And it was one of the financial counselors who was calling me from the hospital. So she's like, you can do this and that and blah, blah, blah. And we can spread it out over this certain amount of time. And it's just X number of dollars a month. And all you got to do is bring the first payment, which is like $65 to the appointment. And then you're fine. I'm like, really? And she's like, yes. I'm like, sign me up for that. Okay. Yeah. But then she explains to me, because I wasn't thinking about it. She's like, well, here's what your insurance is. Here's what they're saying it could be. It could be that amount, blah, blah, blah. But, you have, we know what your deductible amount. I'm like, oh, fuck. I never use my deductible unless I have a heart attack,
Right.
Because then I burn it up in like 30 days. But I barely used any of my deductible, no out of pocket. So that's why it's that dollar amount. But she's like, it could be less and we can refigure whatever. She said, we just need to get something in place to make sure that we've talked to you. You got a plan on how to take care of this, and then we'll figure it out and ease everything out. And I said, here's the deal. I said, I'm not looking to get anyone in trouble. Right. I said, just if somebody could make a suggestion to this individual that, maybe that she give the whole, like the whole picture.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I'm fine. I feel fine. But I'm like, I'm like, now I can't get my heart checked because I can't. Right. She's like, that's okay. She's like, most of us don't have, $2,300 to stay around waiting to pay for a procedure. I'm like, so she was so nice. But I thought about that before when we were talking, because so you got somebody who's, again, how do we act now versus how we used to act, and it made me think of the person that I talked to the first time was how we used to act. The way we act now is the second person, because all this person never told me anything. She was just like, the 20% discount if you pay in full.
Yeah, right.
So they give you a cash discount. But I'm like, all this is my health. I'm like, I'm freaking out because now I can't do this. I'm like, how do people do this?
Right.
So again, just back to the point of it made me feel good, and I thanked the lady, and I felt so much better because somebody treated me with a little bit of dignity, a little bit of respect, and didn't just say, fuck you, pay me. and give me, because all this first person would have done is said, here's what I can do. I'm going to send this down, a note down to a financial counselor. They will contact you, and there could be, that's all she would then say, there could be other options.
Right.
And then that's what would have happened.
Yeah.
So anyhow, I was kind of fucking beside myself. But anyhow, all's well that ends well. I'm going to get my heart checked and I'm all good. And
good.
I have a heart still. Yes, there's one in there. And it attacked me a while ago, and I don't want it to do that again.
Right. Hey, I've got one of those too. It's really small and black.
Yeah, I don't know what color mine is, but the little fucker attacked me. I'll tell you that much. And it's no fun. No fun. All right, brother. Well, you know what? I'm going to see you tomorrow, actually.
Yes, you are.
For now, I love you, brother.
I love you too.
And we will talk, and I will see you soon.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
And now it is time for you to fuck off. Then keep fucking off. Keep fucking off until you get to a gate with a sign on it saying you cannot fuck off past here. Climb over that gate, dream the impossible dream, and keep fucking off forever.